Hey everyone, this is Kevin. Just about to start editing this week's episode, but I know on the front end it's abruptly cut off because of a sick dog. Just want everyone to know Bailey's perfectly fine, even though it may sound dramatic at the end. Just wanted to give that quick heads up before we roll with the show. Alright, so we're hot. We're recording. I hear pool in the background.
Relaxing.
So relaxing.
So relaxing. So relaxing.
Fire smoldering in the background.
Cinnamons.
Cinnamons.
Everybody's legs except mine smell like the cinnamons. I'm hoping I can have residual effect from y'all's essential oils.
As much cinnamon as we got going right now, I bet you will.
Would it count if I was sitting here eating a cinnamon roll? Could I have that option?
Maybe.
Remember when Cinnabon was so good?
That smell. Speaking of smells.
It's still delicious, but I feel so guilty when I eat one.
They're not, but they're nowhere
So
near
guilty.
as good as they used to be.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't had one in maybe 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, it's probably been longer than that.
Yeah.
I remember we're not going there. Shall we?
Yeah.
Do it.
Hello, everybody. It's ShiftLess. All we talk is bicycles, nothing else. No dogs, no Cinnabons.
We're not going to talk about the weather today.
Oh.
Well, you brought it up. You might as well round out the conversation here.
I think today's going to be the last decent day we have for a while.
I hear the end is nigh.
Yeah. But we'll see.
When we say decent, do we mean heat-wise or
Like less than 90.
Oh, okay.
I think tomorrow it's supposed to be in the 90s, or maybe maybe Friday.
It was already hotter than hell last week, so
Yeah.
So we had a little bit of a respite.
It felt good last night. Last night turned out to be a decent
Well,
ride.
that first lap was
a little moist.
swampy.
Yeah.
But by the time we headed to Denton.
There he goes jumping in without an introduction. Is that acceptable?
Sorry. All right, rewind.
Joining us is
DJ Caleb. That's a proper intro.
all right. Now you can talk.
Okay. How does it feel this good outside, but it's 75% humidity?
I don't know.
Explain this to me, because it feels great.
Because last week it was 99% humidity and 95 degrees.
25% makes that much a deal.
Yeah, because
the difference.
And it's still only 80 degrees, but it's supposed to get to 90 today.
Yeah.
90, and then tomorrow, I just looked at the 10-day. Every day beyond today is like mid to low 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we won't get any rain and stuff will start drying up a little bit.
Maybe.
Trails were not
Maybe.
awful last night. We touched a little bit of trail last night.
Which trails? Your unofficial horse trails and stuff? Or?
No. We didn't touch any horse trails. They were all legal trails.
Okay.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
We were legal last night. We went through South Lakes.
Yeah.
And then the stuff behind my house.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was
Denton area.
the only spot by my house that was really bad was the place that we expected to be, but it wasn't.
It wasn't even that
we've
bad.
seen it worse.
Yeah, I've seen it way worse. I think I got my wires crossed there when we went across the dam. You were like,
Well,
did we not want to go that way?
No, because that spot is the last spot to dry. And
Yeah.
I said,
I figured as much.
I literally knew my left from my right this time. I was
Yeah.
saying go left, and you went right, and I was like, okay, well, I guess we're gonna try it out.
Well, I figured since you said left, you meant right.
That's true. You could use that excuse.
Caleb almost got eliminated three separate times last night.
Adam and I have to divorce for a while.
Yeah, Adam, in splendid fashion on the climb on Seville, which it wasn't even 20 seconds after you said, "I hate this freaking climb."
I know.
And I think Garrett was the one asking you why, and you said, because it's 2 levels, you know.
You think you're done, and then there's a whole nother section.
Yeah, and then Adam is powering up this climb and breaks his chain, falls into Caleb, who Caleb then falls into the grass and the curb area. And
I didn't fall too bad, but I am glad he ran into me because it would have been. I mean, he could have done what Redmond did when he punctured his leg. Anyway, he lost his chain and came down. Like literally, Big Adam split his legs over his top tube and drug his knee. Like
his knee looked rough.
He took probably a golf ball, racquetball size patch of skin completely off his knee.
Yeah,
from a broken chain.
He's lucky though that that happened on a climb, not on like a sprint point or something else, because that was no bueno. He had some ghost shifting issues prior to that, and we stopped, and I didn't know what was going on, but we stopped, and he asked for a multi-tool, and he checked his axle. I think that was the only thing he checked because he had an issue with his axle coming loose before, and the symptoms were similar. But then once he wrecked, I realized that his derailleur was actually loose. So we tightened his derailleur. We slapped on a quick link, and we were back up and running.
Boogieing.
Boogie.
And what bike was this?
He was on his pivot.
That was the pivot?
Yeah, his Mach 4 live valve, Super Duty.
It's the Cybertruck of bicycles.
Yeah, pretty much. It has like 14 batteries.
This was the e-bike.
Yeah.
No.
His electronic shifting and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's got an electronic shifter. It's got a wireless dropper. It's got power meter.
Okay,
I mean,
the 14 batteries.
Yeah.
I follow the logic now. It's like,
yeah.
And what is his e-bike? What brand does he have for his e-bike?
I think it's a Pivot as well.
Okay.
Is it? I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I barely saw it. He did bring it over here. I can't remember what it is.
Understand. So, all right. So, the chain broke because of the loose derailleur, or we don't know?
So, see, what had happened was... he was experiencing ghost shifting.
Yeah.
While we were going through the first piece of trail. And then we went on across the road. We're riding the road, and there was a couple of climbs in there, and he was still experiencing ghost shifting. And then when we went to hit that climb at Seville, I think he was still experiencing ghost shifting, and I think it was because of his derailleur was loose, so it wasn't exactly lined up with wherever it needed to be. Plus, it had play in it, and I don't know, just all those freaking watts. That guy so freaking strong.
Man. I made a joke about, I hope my chain didn't break next, and Brad said, you can't put down that many watts.
Even when you're carrying a microwave, that's what I said.
So did it ghost shift while he was mashing and that broke the chain, or was
Don't know. All that happened pretty quick.
So we don't know if it was a poor timing of a shift or what at this point.
I don't think he was shifting at that moment. He had already downshifted, I believe.
Yeah. But it literally, on the big plate, the plate just split apart. Like, the pin just came out and the plate was like this. And so the chain just pulled right through. So we just popped that one off and put a master link on and went on with the show.
Interesting. So, hey, maybe sometimes standover height does matter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he would have been fooked if he would have been on a bike that was too big for him.
It gave us an opportunity to do some yoga in the middle of the street, though. That was good.
Yeah, Caleb was doing yoga in the middle of the street. I had to look. I had to focus because I just assumed it was Carl. And then I look and I see Carl to the left of me, and I go,
I don't know. What is that?
I don't know.
Amber Alert, child abduction, San Antonio.
I'm not getting one.
I can't do that. Can't do anything about San Antonio.
On another bike fix related deal, I've been struggling with knee pain on my right knee specifically for going on months. And last week, Justin Helpenstiel was telling me he was experiencing the exact same pain, same place, in the inside of the knee and blah, blah, blah. And so I got to where I was riding behind him last week, and I noticed that his right knee comes out on the top of his pedal stroke. Mm-hmm. And so I told him that. I said, hey, I see your problem. And so last night when we were on our first lap, I told him, I said, hey, man, you know what you need to do is you need to take your cleat and just turn it ever so slightly towards your little toe. Like if you're looking at your shoe underneath, just turn your cleat outward just a touch. So it forces your toe in just a touch. And he goes, yeah, I'll do that. And so 2 minutes later, I was like, why don't I listen to my own advice? So we got back from the first loop, and I sat down and moved my cleat just a touch. And I felt like a brand new man after that.
Yeah, he rode like one too.
I mean, Stella got her groove back.
She did.
I was like, why didn't I do this months ago? I mean, knee pain was immediately gone, and I felt like I had 20% more power on tap. It was insane. So, minor victories.
Marginal gains.
Marginal gains.
Another potential way to address that, or a combination of reasons why that might be happening these days, that evidently that is somewhat of a byproduct of modern geometry to some extent. Not saying that's the case here, but
Sure.
The cocked out knee at the top of the pedal stroke, that's one of the reasons for the shorter cranks as well. The modern geometry, if you're running a longer crank, you're actually tightening up too much, bringing the knee too close to the body, and the natural inclination is to take your knee, and you're not even aware you're doing it, sort of thing.
Well, it's interesting because, I started looking at myself after I told Justin that, and I wasn't doing the same thing. However, I'd noticed that if I just turned my toe, made a conscious effort to turn my toe in ever so slightly, my knee pain would go away. So I was like, then I thought, well, why don't I do that?
Hypothetically, flats would fix that too.
That's true. That's true.
Hypothetically.
But what's funny is after that, I got on my bike, and it felt like, in without looking at myself, it felt like I was just pigeon-toed, like crazy.
Yeah.
And I'd look down, and my foot's just straight forward. But it's such a contrast between what it felt like and what it looked. It was interesting. So, but it fixed my problem seriously, like immediately. I was so happy because I've been almost not depressed, but feeling like
you've been bitching about it for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like it am I going to have to give up riding? Plus, I've been battling with high heart rate. But I started feeling a lot better last night. A lot better. And then my Garmin said I was 78% heat acclimated. I don't know how accurate that is.
Well, that's because your heart rate was significantly lower.
Finally.
And it's taking that data. It's not thinking, well, the reason why his heart rate's different is because he's not in pain or not uncomfortable or something like that. So, I mean, that stuff, I do look at that a little bit, but that acclimation stuff is...
It also said I needed 96 hours to recover.
All that...
She did.
Yeah, all that, not just Garmin, all of it, the Whoop and the...
Oh, boy.
I'm
a Whoop zealot now. Let's go to church.
Yeah, take us to church. Tell me.
I'm a fan of Whoop, especially. But I will say you will get significantly more out of it if you're working with a coach.
No, that's
because Whoop can integrate with.
Are you working with a coach?
No. But I
know a couple of coaches.
I'm a professional novice.
Yeah.
When it comes to Whoop.
Is that like a jumbo shrimp? Is that an oxymoron?
Yeah, it is. I'm the jumbo shrimp of Whoop.
I'd like to wear...
That's all my business card.
I'd like to wear one of those when I cook for an entire weekend, just to see.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm always worn out by the end of the weekend, and then I ride on Sunday, and I'm like, why am I so worn out?
If you follow some of the baseline advice that it gives you, it does help, but it really comes into play when you have a coach, because it'll connect Training Peaks, and then
so friggin' expensive.
It is. As a matter of fact, it hit my bank account 3 days ago, and because I get get an alert on my phone.
Is it a yearly?
Yeah, it's way cheaper to pay yearly. Monthly is even.
It's an annual commitment either way.
Yeah.
So can I ask how much it costs a month or a year?
I think it was either. I think it was $216.
Jesus, yeah.
But I mean, I think it's a proper tool. I would get way more out of it if I worked with a coach.
Yeah, so it's like $20 a month, basically.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm a fan. I don't think anything's perfect.
Yeah.
But I feel.
Do you follow the sleep
Oh yeah. Sleep is like every morning. It's part of my rituals while I'm making coffee. I'm checking my sleep. And
Are you like our buddy who wakes up and you have a red and you go, oh, I'm gonna have a shit day?
No, I don't let it. I don't let it affect my. I mean, if I wake up, well, I do the opposite. If I wake up in the morning and I'm feeling tired and sluggish, and I look and I have a significant amount of recovery, and you can't see here, but like from my ride from yesterday, when I woke up yesterday morning, I was 90% recovered. And there's a little line on the outside here that you can't see that varies, and it stops right around where this blue line is. That's the amount of effort you should put to maintain your baseline.
This is great for radio, by the way.
I know, it's so eventful for everybody. Anyway, it's more about waking up and feeling good, or feeling bad, or feeling good and going, why do I feel good but not recovered as much as I thought? Like right now, I feel great, but my recovery is not awesome.
Yeah.
But I would still go out and ride pretty hard if I was going to ride today.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
speaking of which, I think I'm going to ride today.
I'm going to try, but work is done right now.
I'm leaving for Mexico on Monday, and I told Paula this morning my plan is to ride every day until we leave.
Old
for
Mexico or New Mexico?
Old Mexico, the proper Mexico.
Where are we going? The OG of Mexico.
Yeah, the OG. But we're going to it's not really Mexico. We're going to Playa del Carmen. So
I mean, it's within the borders, right?
It's south of the Rio Grande.
It is. But it's like a tourist town, you know. So
our office has a speaking of South America, our office has if you plan it right and you kind of do it on your own dime, you can literally go to another country and work if you figure it out. And I just found out we have an office in Costa Rica.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right there in the middle of the good shit.
Huh.
Yeah.
If you need me to go and be your personal assistant, I'll go with you.
You can't even open a Google Doc.
Bitch, I can. It's open right now.
It's because you have never,
I left it open.
Never closed it. Okay.
I got scared it would disappear.
Worst assistant ever.
Hey, but at least your eggs would be cooked right.
Oh, that's true.
So, all right. So you're leaving Monday. When do you get back?
I think the following Saturday or something.
All right.
I can't remember.
So ShiftLess will be international for a couple episodes, or we don't know.
I guess I could do a remote. Could I? Is that what you mean?
I mean, I have to do remote next week, regardless.
Oh, you're going to be in
I'll be in
Georgia.
I'll be in Georgia next week, and the following week, and the following week after that, North Carolina.
Yeah, let's talk about that afterwards, because...
no, I was just... Were you planning to come on board? Or?
Oh, I definitely can.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. I might be drinking a cocktail by the beach, but...
Understood.
I'm planning on... I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Are you taking a bike?
To Mexico? Hell no. I don't want my bike to get stolen.
You don't leave. You don't leave the walls of the compound, right?
Speaking of which, I went to Velo yesterday, just checking on some parts and maybe ordering some new parts. And this poor little kid came in, college student, had just bought a bike on Saturday. Yesterday was Tuesday, and his bike had gotten stolen.
Stolen already.
And it just...
That's heartbreaking.
Man, I hate bike thieves. Bike thieves are the fucking worst. I felt so sorry for that kid. And so I know Gabe doesn't want me to sing his praises like this, but Gabe literally went to the back and brought out a bike and just gave it to him.
That guy's got a good heart.
And I was like, this is why I spend my money here.
Yeah.
You know? It was awesome. Awesome.
Did he even buy that bike from the original? He did?
Yeah.
And he came in and told him if you see it kind of thing?
Well, no, he came in because he wanted to file a police report and he needed the serial number.
Yeah.
And gave him the serial number and told him to feel free to let the cops contact him so he could give him any other details they might need and blah, blah, blah. And he said, I mean, I couldn't help but think it's not going to do any good. The cops aren't going to mess with it, you know.
Yeah,
that's kind of like the Big Lebowski when he's looking for the guys that stole his car, and he's
you never know, because somebody I'm associated with had their bike stolen from a Whataburger in Fort Worth just the other day.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I mean, Fort Worth PD was on top of it. And
That's interesting.
I think it depends on the department and the officer. I think some are going to care more about that than others, just like with anything.
I feel like they're not going to go looking for it, but if it turns up and they have the serial number, they can cross-reference
but if that bike got stolen in a particular area, and they know that there's been bikes stolen in a particular area, or they know someone that they've busted before that has stolen bikes in a particular area, there's some repetitiveness there that they look for.
I don't want to make too many assumptions on this one because I didn't follow the whole chain of events, but I believe it was one of those that it was stolen and very quickly put up on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or something like that.
A $12,000 bike for $800.
Yeah.
I don't know all those details, but it was brought to the police department's attention, and the police department walked the guy through. All right, go about it this way, and we'll be in the next parking lot over or whatever. And again, I don't know all of the details, but
I think Facebook Marketplace has been the downfall of a lot of bike thieves, actually. Because I've read numerous stories of.
I mean, I can't even imagine thinking that that's a smart way to do it. But I mean, I realize that most thieves aren't the brightest. I get that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Or, well, most thieves that get caught anyway.
Didn't you and Baker go? Or Baker and somebody go and recover a bike via Facebook Marketplace?
I think that actually happened. I was not there, but I think you're right.
He ended up.
I'm somewhat familiar with that one.
Yeah,
too.
He called in backup from somebody from Big Pig. Maybe it was Harnish. I don't know. Maybe it was Bolin. I don't know. But somebody went and set the meeting up, and then Baker showed up and took it. I don't know, something like that.
Just
okay, so
I've
seen people do this before, and I've kind of just like shaken it off. Like I don't want to mess with that. But putting an AirTag in your bike, but now, and I don't remember who it was, but there's a new bike frame out that has a AirTag slot built into it.
Yeah.
Like I said, manufactured spot to put one in.
Yeah.
Is that pretty? I mean, people are. Should I look into that, or I mean, how many people do that?
It is very common for people to AirTag any sort of property. Yes.
But I've heard there's downfalls with AirTags, and I don't know enough about. I don't know anything about AirTags, but that doesn't keep me from talking about anything else. So
yeah, it doesn't slow you down. That's for damn sure.
But so they, like Adam's bike, have a battery. And you have to be in proximity of them, right? How does that work? Like if your bike was stolen in Fort Worth and you're here in Argyle, can you look on your phone and see where your bike is? That's my question.
If it's been anywhere near an iPhone, yes.
So it uses like a mesh network of iPhones?
Yes.
Okay. See, I just don't know. So.
And Tile supposedly works the same way, but you're into the iPhone density aspect of it. So if over 50% of the marketplace have iPhones.
Yeah, what's the Android equivalent of an Apple AirTag?
Well, the Tile.
The Tile.
I remember the Tiles.
But for the Tile to work, it not just an Android, it's somebody that has to have the Tile app as well. So you're getting niche upon niche upon niche, which we talk about so much on this show. Yeah. Whereas Apple, it's just happening.
Apple has their own network specifically for the security devices it's the Find My network. So Find My phone, Find My iPad. Mm-hmm. And every device has its own unique number or whatever identifier, and that's how they get around it's a network that is shared by multiple people, and that AirTag is triangulated. If you're running that app and someone rides past you on a bike that's stolen, you being on that app automatically tracks it and connects it, but you don't know it's there because you have to have the serial number for that particular
in the background.
It's running, but that's how it works. It's basically a triangulation sharing.
Now here is where there's. Obviously, I'm not an Apple guy, so I don't know all the stuff inside out. But somewhere along the way, AirTag, Apple had to make an adjustment where it used to be these devices could just be running in the background, and if somebody had something, they wouldn't know there was an AirTag. Now, if you're in close proximity of an AirTag, your device will tell you there's there's an Apple device near you or something like that. So if you drive 20 miles and the same device is near you and you just stole a bike, it's going to tell you there's an AirTag on the bike. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, do you think that is a deterrent for a thief? Like, would a thief be able to pick up on the fact that there's an AirTag in that bike?
Probably a higher end bike.
Or a higher end thief would recognize that.
Yeah.
And again, but somebody that's putting a bike on Facebook Marketplace 5 minutes after stealing it, and then agreeing to meet the guy at the bike shop where the bike was originally purchased.
Yeah. Well, that's like you remember, OnStar and LoJack and all that to cut down on car theft. It seemed like it worked there for a while, but I think that.
Well, most cars are built with that kind of stuff nowadays anyway. But I think it's they bought the technology and we don't need it.
The LoJack was a subscription service.
Yeah.
So they had to tout the benefit of it, and there was probably some benefit along the lines back in the day, like having the security sticker on the front window or the front door of your house as well. Just saying protected by LoJack for a while, that in and of itself was a deterrent. Yeah. For a bit.
Yeah. Well, I know now.
Remember the club?
Yeah.
No one uses that anymore.
We just bought one last year.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I saw somebody had one on their shifter. That was shifter to dash or something.
So you can't even get it in. So you couldn't even roll it.
The best anti-theft device that I've ever come across was the manual transmission in my Jeep.
Yeah.
So I guess people. I just assumed the club these days was obsolete because of all cars now have the security lock in the steering, but I guess you're still vulnerable in certain cars.
The Kias and the Hyundais right now, they have the same issue that all those GM cars had in the 90s when all of them were getting stolen. You just
break
pop,
it. Yeah.
You just pop it and you can
I take back my comment about
But that said,
the Kia is the problem too. Kia.
That's why I said Kia and Hyundai.
I thought you said Hyundai.
Kia and Hyundai.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's an ongoing issue with them. In fact, insurance companies were dropping Kia owners because of how many cars were getting stolen. But you were asking me about construction equipment the other day. You can't even get a piece of construct like a skid steer or anything like that. You can't even get insurance on those if you don't have LoJack. You have to have LoJack in order to get.
So they probably changed their business more to equipment than vehicles since then.
Yeah, because those pieces of equipment walk away constantly in the middle of the night.
Is it maybe LoJack that's actually stealing all this equipment?
Oh, a little job security there.
I tell you what.
A little market
ShiftLess,
development.
Episode 66, brought to you by
LoJack
and the club. Speaking of, you guys didn't even give me an anniversary gift.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Last week or this week is my 1 year anniversary.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot, dickheads.
Didn't even realize.
I didn't get a ring. I didn't get I didn't get one of those crumble boxes.
Yeah,
of
but
cookies.
has it been 52 episodes?
No, it hasn't.
Okay, so it's not a
year.
year.
It hasn't been 52 straight episodes.
So it's not a year.
I don't know if I'll ever.
Talk to me when it's 52 straight episodes.
Yeah.
All right.
It's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah,
I'm excited about that.
It's pretty cool.
Has it really been a year?
Yeah, because he came on after Unbound.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yep, that was his first episode.
That was a guest appearance.
Yeah, there was 4 or 5. There was 4 or 5 before I actually came on.
All right.
Oops.
Did y'all see the RAD is now an Unbound Qualifier?
The RAD, what is that?
The RAD is a.
It's part of the
It's
lifetime.
now a
Grand
lifetime. Yeah,
it was last year too.
That's true. Yeah.
What's it called?
The RAD Dirt Fest. It's in Trinidad.
And I made the mistake of looking at the fucking route on that last week.
Oh,
I was
really?
just curious.
What is it?
It's my spinistry route for archery.
Are you serious? Did they really like turn for turn?
They route different sections in different ways, but it's the exact same network of roads.
Oh man.
Even so, the one difference is they start. The differences are tied to the ends, and so they start in downtown Trinidad, where we started on the north end of north side of the lake, because we were starting from the state park there. We had a pavilion, so we had to start and end at that pavilion. What we did that I thought was super unique we took this little double track trail that went along the south end of the lake, and it's state park land, and then went out to this network of dirt roads that goes by this neat section of what's the KT boundary, when the dinosaurs, the asteroid or comet that took out the dinosaurs, that level of black in the sediment rock there is called the KT boundary, and they've got this big display. So we went by the KT boundary. But it's just this bushwhacking double track section, and then you hit the network of dirt roads. They use that same KT boundary trail that we use to get to the same network of dirt roads.
I kind of see that now. Have you guys heard of Plot a Route?
No, not familiar with that one.
Yeah, their route is on a new site called Plot a Route, and it is terrible with ads.
Okay, well, yeah, yes, because I saw that page. So where it's different, they do theirs as a lollipop that goes up and down that same dirt road.
Yep.
There's another road slightly to the east that goes down through Cokedale. So we went up that same road that they use for their lollipop stem, but we came down the next road to the east because we were going back to the north side of the lake there on the highway.
Yeah.
So they're actually missing a really good section of road, because that section that goes by Cokedale, that's a really neat road, but it does require some highway time. So I understand why they took it out.
Interesting that, so a lot of people immediately were pissed off about, like, it's like, oh, now there's qualifiers, and it's going to make it harder to do the lottery, but they're only giving away, basically coins or tokens.
So they're making it, so it's an actual qualifier for Unbound now? How does that work?
It works if you are, so they're giving away 10 qualifier, and I'm doing air quotes because it says in the write-up, qualifier tokens up for grab at the RAD. Riders who finish either the 110 or 70-mile race distances will be eligible to earn one of the coins. 50 of the qualifier coins will be allocated to the top riders within each award category, which most of those riders are already going to be in Unbound anyway. So you don't think so?
No, because there's only 60 riders in the Grand Prix. Oh, you mean okay.
I'm meaning some of these names and these people are already so fast enough they're already a guaranteed spot anyway. So to me, this doesn't.
Are they a guaranteed spot? Because it's a lottery, right?
It is not a lottery for the elite riders.
No, but okay.
It's all a racket.
Yeah, no.
Okay, well, that's what I'm getting at. So when you say it's a qualifier for Unbound, so it's a qualifier for the elite race. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's a qualifier for anybody who. But what it does benefit is the people who are not. So it's in all categories. Category leaders, all the way down to however they break down the category. So what it's getting around to,
it's age groups.
Yeah, and so it's not really affecting I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, I think it's cool that they're doing it. It's not a bad thing.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
But is it for a 200-mile option, or is it
both? No,
it's 125 mile.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, the qualifier.
I'm saying you're qualified.
It doesn't say.
That's what I'm getting. So qualify for what? So does it qualify you for the elite race, or does it just qualify you
as an entry?
As an entry for Unbound.
It's basically Willy Wonka's golden ticket. You have the coin, you can get in regardless of what you sign up for.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, so you could do the XL, you could do the elite, you could do.
I mean, it doesn't stipulate either way.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Now as far as I think they're doing it for a reason.
Except my airdrop, you cuck.
I did.
I'm trying to send you something.
My guess is the RAD didn't get the attendance they were wanting. So they're wanting to.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Feed the attendance to the RAD a little bit,
huh.
Potentially. I don't think there's a downside in making it a qualifier, or maybe that's all it is. Maybe it is testing the qualification concept, which is kind of how they started to begin. Because I mean, that's how they.
That's how Leadville.
That's
used
how they
to be.
did Leadville.
Yeah.
That's why so many people went to the Rattler. It's like, I want to qualify for Leadville and things like that. And maybe they tried to do that initially for Unbound when Lifetime got involved, and they got so much blowback on that they had to retreat from that. Maybe they're trying to bring. And again, we're back to I don't think the current model, and I'm not knocking Lifetime here, I don't think they're getting the benefit from their investment that they need to justify the investment. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. they're spending a ton of money on this. I don't know that it generates enough revenue for lifetime fitness centers to make true business sense from a marketing perspective.
I wonder how long they're going to stay the course, or if we're going to see some changes coming.
Yeah, I'm sticking to my tinfoil hat theory from last week. I think there's associations being made in the gravel world right now that will keep people, get all these major parties interlinked and driving each other's business, as opposed to. I could be drastically wrong. It could be. I think the Grand Prix came about. Lifetime wanted to get ahead of the UCI curve because UCI announced that they were doing their world championship, and my guess is UCI was way over here, Lifetime was way over here. There was no common ground between them,
right?
And they were both trying to beat each other to the punch to be the preeminent world class level gravel events.
Yeah.
And I think that's why Lifetime jumped in with both feet into the Grand Prix. They knew they had to throw something at a higher level into the mix. When UCI said, hey, we're going to have a world championship, Lifetime's like, oh, hold my beer. It was kind of one of those things. And I think over the past couple of years, they're finding it, we're the niche upon niche upon niche discipline here. There's not enough bodies to go around to support both, sort of thing.
But I also think that it's beneficial to have a qualifier event before someone goes and tries to do 200 miles of gravel in the middle of nowhere.
So upon further reading, I mentioned there's 100 coins. 50 of the coins will be allocated to the top riders within each award category.
Okay.
The remaining half will be distributed in a random drawing among all riders that have successfully completed either of the qualifier distances, and those distances are the 110 or the 70. But there's a lot of there's pretty good climbing in that, so that 70 miles pretty tough.
It's an incentive to get people to do the RAD.
So just so I'm clear, because I'm not the smartest guy in the room, all 100 of those coins, if you receive one of those coins, you're automatically in Unbound if you choose to go.
Yes. It's an automatic in. It's not a lottery. It's a fast pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Skip the line.
Okay.
Yeah. And you don't have to worry about if you make the lottery or not. You either qualify on skill.
Okay.
That's the first 50.
Yes. Yeah.
Or you have a good chance of qualifying just by finishing.
Yep.
And I wonder, so what was the attendance for RAD this year? Do we know?
Well, it hasn't
just out
happened
of curiosity.
Yet.
Last year.
Let me see.
Last
2023.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, I wonder, like, if they're given 100 coins, I mean, is there 500 riders at this event? I mean, how big of an event is it? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I never heard.
If there's only 150 people there and you're giving out 100 coins, I'm just.
No, I understand. I think it's safely above 500.
Oh, okay.
I think it's highly iffy if it got above 1,000.
That's not the one that. No, that was in New Mexico. That Nipper sent us the pictures of, where it was like gnarly double track.
That's Pinyon and Pines.
That was Pinyon and Pines. That's
Pinyon
right.
and Pines, yeah.
I'm pulling up the only thing I can find is the event results from last year. I can maybe.
Well,
find
usually if you go to the results, it'll say total number of entrants.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere in there, but not always. And we don't have to figure it out at the moment.
Yeah, I was just curious.
I will throw on my. If we figure it out before the end of the episode, fantastic. I'm going to guess 700, 750. I'm going to say 750. That's how many made it to the.
They're using Athlinks, and it's not showing. I don't see the actual.
Okay. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
We'll
Anyway.
figure it out later. If it definitely, let me put it this way. Definitely, if it's less than 500, they definitely want to drive more attendance. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I was just trying to figure out how many attendants they have where they're giving out 100.
So last year this is the full course. So I guess is the 110. It was 249 entries.
Okay.
That and then let me go to.
It's also an incentive to finish the course.
That's the
too.
110 mile. Yeah. So and the 70 had 272.
Okay, so we
north
crested,
of 500.
We crested 500.
Yeah.
And the 40 mile had 214.
Okay.
Seven,
but the
700, 750, right?
Yeah,
but the
good call.
40 is not a. You don't get a coin.
That's not
for
a qual. That's not a
yeah,
qualifier.
okay.
Yeah, it's
so
only
they
qualifier on
they
the
want
two.
they want 1,000-person event.
So they're being smart about that part.
That's what it boils.
Yeah.
Their break even line on that.
I need to
event
bump up those rookie numbers.
Yeah.
Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah.
Gotta
get those numbers up.
They want to get north of 1,000.
Yeah.
which is understandable.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I saw you put in the notes here. You got your new rack. Is it on the truck?
It's on the truck.
I want to look at it before you leave.
So I got the new. My Thule needed another full round of refresh, which I'd already done that once. Because you can replace, because it's plastic, you can replace all the parts. I bought it used for $200.
Okay.
And so it had been through multiple refurbishes, and I've been threatening Kay, telling her like, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is dumb. It squeaks. It just looks janky. So I went ahead and invested in the new one-up double duty. I think it's what it's called.
Super Duty.
No, it's the regular duty. I don't need a new duty.
Oh.
My duty is good enough as it is.
Is your duty good?
Yeah, because I'm not. I mean, anyway. So the main new design features are that there's no more of lifting that cantilever unlock pin to do the sliders. Now it's built into the basically the knuckle that goes across the sawtooth.
Yeah.
There's a red reflector, and it's a simple. Right now it's simple because it's brand new, but you literally it's not like having to ratchet that thing. It pops up regardless, I think, of where the pressure
How much
is.
bind is in it? Yeah.
And the pull pin is in the front.
Yeah.
And it locks
instead of having to reach.
But here's the
under.
one thing: as great of designers they are, and we thought of this. We thought of this shit. We fixed this shit. There is a pin that you pull out that is not connected. You literally pull a pin that has a spring-loaded ball bearing on the other side of the pin, and now you have a pin in your hand.
Yeah.
So now you're lifting and pulling.
Caleb's going to lose that.
A lot of people are going to lose that.
Is there not a way to tether it?
I'm going to have to do that, but why didn't they think of that shit? Why am I having to do that to an $800 bike rack?
I don't know.
Well,
what you do is
they had the issue with the no lock on the first gen.
Yeah.
And they made a big deal about that for the long. Well, you don't need one, and now it's.
So you pull this pin out, and it's about 2 inches tall.
Yeah.
Now you've got that in your hand.
Uh-huh.
So you're trying to do.
So why do you have to pull the pin? I don't know.
That's how it locks the.
But once you put it in position, you shouldn't have to be
moving
anything.
But if you need to move your bike rack up and down.
Oh, when you have bikes on it?
On it or off of it, yeah.
Okay.
You literally take that pin out. It's now in your hand, and you're lifting or pulling the lever and lifting at the same time with something in your hand. Or you put it in your pocket if you're wearing pockets, but if you're wearing bibs or whatever. Anyway, it's kind of like this thing is so engineered well.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I want to look at it. And that makes sense, but at the same rate, you're right. I mean,
it would not have taken much at all to run like a ring drill a hole through the top of it, run a ring through it, and have a galvanized braided rope or something.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me either. Mine's not like that, but it has. I think mine's either first gen or second gen.
Yeah.
It does have the ability to lock though.
So it's second gen.
Well, so it's got where it goes into the receiver hitch. You've got the proprietary hex head with the center removed or whatever, and you tighten that down. It has a cross piece where it's drilled from top to bottom, where you could put their proprietary lock in it, so you can't access that.
Right. Gen 1 didn't even have that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And then
they treated it like that proprietary hex head was the lock.
Yeah. And then I bought the locks, so when the arms come up and go over your wheels, you know how they have the different holes? You can send the lock through the holes, but I never run them because they're a fucking pain in the ass.
To get on and off?
To get on and off, because you have to unlock them and then you have to unscrew it.
Yeah.
It's a...
I want to say...
I just run a cable lock.
I want to say that they fixed... That might be an update.
Yeah. I have them,
but
and
I just use a rubber-coated
Yeah.
Steel cable.
I use a cable lock, and a good old master lock. But the those 1-up locks are just sitting on my workbench.
In more hitch rack news, as much of a Kuat fanboy as I am,
I was just about to say that.
they just had a huge recall on their
posted on June 12th.
their
June 10th.
transfers.
Yep.
Where
The V2 1 bike, the V2 2 bike, and the V2 3 bike.
all of them.
Yeah.
All of
Is
them.
the transfer the one with the Kashima coating?
No, the transfers, their lower end one,
Okay.
the black one,
Yeah.
which has traditionally been a very, very good, best bang for the buck rack out there, was
Yeah.
kind of the way, but that was the V1.
Okay.
So what? So it's like I guess the pivot's breaking or something like that. So
I don't know.
something like I couldn't tell exactly what the recall is, but evidently it can the pivot hinge or whatever, the pin for the pivot evidently breaks, and so
it says Kuat said it has determined that when the bike carrier is in use, the pivot cam can become disengaged, allowing the bike carrier to drop into a lower position. This may cause damage to the bike carrier, which may result in the release of the bike from the carrier while the car is in motion. Consumers should immediately stop using the recalled products and contact Kuat Innovations to arrange for a replacement pivot pedal assembly.
And that was
free of charge.
That was through manufacturer of June 2024. So this isn't one of those.
Between October 2020 and June 2024.
Yeah,
that's a big window.
That's a big window, and they did that recall up until they were still Usually, when these recalls come about, they know it's in something's going on, and they have months to kind of sort it out.
Yeah.
So something came on quickly for that one to come about that way.
I've said it many a times in many different ways, but it always irks me when you see people with like a $10,000 bike and they have it on a shitty carrier, or it's all jankety. Or the best is when you see guys that still have the old trunk mount with the two posts sticking out, and they have their shit bungeed to it, and you're like, what are you doing? You know,
looks like the 1-up locking pin is been updated. It's identical. It's just a smaller version of what goes through your hitch. It's a pin that comes through that has a deadhead on one end, and then the keyed lock end on the other, and it just slides in.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't. Something about that going through my spokes while driving a vehicle and having something bounce around. I don't know. I'm going to stay with the thread or the steel cable.
Yeah. For all of the expensive, and I'm saying air quotes without doing air quotes, the expensive hitch rack haters out there that are, that think people are just posers for having their $600, $700, $900 hitch racks. Yeah, you're going to get by on your $150 Amazon Rocky Mountain hitch rack for a while.
Yeah.
Until you don't.
Yeah.
And you always find out the hard way that where you were saving money is not, you didn't save any money. Again, like you said, if you trash a $5,000 bike, and $5,000 is low end these days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you trash a $5,000 bike because you weren't willing to spend another $500 on a decent rack, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, this rack still looks identical to mine. The heavy duty.
That's not the one that I bought though. They're still selling that one.
Okay.
I got the Equip D.
Equipped D. Okay.
That's the newer
one. What's the price point on that these days?
It says $525 for a single.
That's the single.
That's the single.
So you did a single and an add-on?
No, I just went ahead and just did the double.
Oh, I don't even see the double on here.
You have to click into it.
Oh, okay.
It's an option, not a.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, I went ahead and did it because
And the double cost how much?
$805.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had the rack that I had.
$700 and up is the market for a decent hitch rack these days.
Yeah.
I bought mine used for $200 10 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I've got to.
I bought mine.
Do something
I
nice.
bought mine used for like $300 like 10 years ago, from Tyler Hancock, as a matter of fact. And I felt like I stole that thing at the time, and it's been, all around the world. So, and it's still super badass. I had to replace a piece of it. I can't remember what happened.
You really need to put a lock pin on that though, like an actual like through axle.
Yeah.
You have flies all over. You look like one of those Feed the Children commercials.
I know.
Hey, tell Kevin and your sexy tire story.
Oh, I meant to get them. So I went to the bike shop yesterday, I told you, and the Aspen XTs were there, the 170 TPIs, and I actually got to put my hands on them. Pretty stoked about those tires. I don't think they're going to have the longevity of other tires, but
but you've got 6 pair now, so
no,
He does.
no.
That's right.
Am I gonna have to replay that episode? Gabe, Brad committed to 6 pairs. I'm certain of that.
That's not what I said.
Technically not
But-
what he said.
But Gabe has already sold one of them,
Oh, he did?
yeah.
Okay, so then
one pair or one
there you
tire.
go.
one tire. But
Okay.
and he was still bitching. I go, Gabe,
Who buys one?
I don't know.
Of something like that, who buys one?
Reach out and touch us and email us and tell us
Yeah,
why you bought
I wanna
one
hear this
tire that we know
story.
you don't have the other one too because they're brand new.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd
Maybe
buy just one.
maybe it was that unicycle guy we passed on the Bonnie Brae Bridge.
That
the
guy
other
was
night.
riding a 36er.
Oh, he was. That's
Yeah.
right. We were coming down. Have you been down the new bridge on Bonnie Brae?
No, I have
Okay,
not.
they got a beautiful brand new bridge that's hardly anyone ever drives on it. And we were coming back TNBG last week.
Well, when you say new, like in the past 6 months, new or
Past
year and a half, to
so-
maybe 2 years. They worked on it like right after COVID.
You know how they rerouted Bonnie Brae closer to Denton, right?
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you're coming from Apogee, you get to that
No, okay,
that stop
yeah,
sign,
Yeah, no, I have not been on that road.
and so you used to go right, and now that is bike path essentially,
Yes. And that
that
is-
is the dedicated bike path lane.
That is pretty much the model for what eventually they're going to do on Hickory Creek. It's the same bridge,
Oh,
same
really?
style with a dedicated bike,
Yeah.
with a protected bike lane.
Yeah, and so when you turn left at that stop sign, now you go maybe an eighth of a mile and you turn right.
Turn right, and
And-
that was that new stuff they were building
Yeah.
through the fields.
So that's
and everything.
a huge, beautiful bridge right there, and it goes downhill. It's a good little speed run. Well lit at night. It's 2 lanes both ways, and it dumps right in, feeds into that other road. That other road tees
Mm-hmm.
into it now, and then they put that weird statue there. That's
I like it.
Was it an eagle and
It's a hawk and a
hawk and an
a
eagle?
deer.
Hawk and a deer. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
They'd carved out this section of sidewalk and kind of scalloped this big, probably 12-foot half radius piece of concrete, and it had been sitting there for a while. And we didn't know what was going to be. Anyway, I was riding one morning, and the artist was actually there installing it. And I kind of chatted with him. I forgot to get his name, but cool old hippie guy. I was an art major, and I can't stand contemporary conceptual sculpture that's just shit welded together. I just don't like it. But this guy took scraps and pieces of some of it's rusty, some of it you can tell is aluminum, and he did like the circular scalloped polish on it.
Yeah.
And it's probably that deer is probably 8 feet tall, 9 feet tall?
At least, yeah.
And then the eagle's or the hawk's wingspan is probably 10 feet tall. I think it's cool. I mean, it's nice.
I saw it
like
at night. I didn't get to look at it very well. Hey, I only see one problem with this bike rack you bought.
Okay, tell me. I'm sure if anyone's going to tell me I did something wrong, it's going to be you.
It says up to 50 pounds per tray.
Yeah.
What are you going to do when you get an e-bike?
That's
That's a big concern.
Sure it is.
That's actually pretty damn. What the fuck?
Yeah.
No, how do you do a high end bike rack
Because this
in
isn't
2024?
because they have a heavy duty one that'll go up to go higher. This is
Oh,
this is now
Jeebus.
they're in between.
Oh, Jeebus.
The new no, but this is
No,
going
I'm sorry.
this is going to replace their standard version. The standard version was even less weight, so their new standard is a little heavier.
Well, their
and then-
heavy duty's only up to 65 pounds
well,
per
maybe
tray.
they're like me and don't plan on getting an e-bike.
Well, that's fair, but I think
but they
that's-
are cutting out a huge market. I get it.
that is the reason that a lot of people are upgrading bike racks at this point.
Well, they have to.
Yeah.
There's no choice in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see what the super duty is.
Now, it is arguable that we are within 18 months of there not being any 50-pound e-bikes, too. So,
Oh, that's true. The super duty is up to 100 pounds per tray.
okay.
So, but man, you say that, but I don't know. We were promised jetpacks. Where's the jetpacks? Where's the flying cars? Where's all this shit? How come batteries still weigh so much?
How come kids walk on my grass?
But
Yeah.
all right, that's my we're close. So I started looking at my solar powered stuff again for the first time in a few years.
Okay.
And the quality of the lithium phosphate batteries and the bifacial solar panels and the prices associated with those. It's when I started looking in 2020 and 2021, it's like it's borderline. I can't. It's not worth the stretch at this point. Now it's like, I can get a full off-grid electric setup for less than 10 grand, and it all goes together really easily. And
Yeah. You don't have to be a wizard anymore to piece all that stuff together.
How many years does it take for that to pay off?
I mean, what's your electric bill?
Well, you just put $10,000 into your, how long until you make that money back on savings?
Well, if your electric bill is $250 a month, I mean, what's the math on that?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Okay. Well, all right. $2,500 would be 10 months.
Yeah, that's $3,000
a year.
Okay, but I guess
so three years.
I guess I didn't realize it would completely zero out your electricity. Are we at that point now where it's zeroing it out? I thought it just not dropped it, 70, 80, 60%.
No, if you could live off grid for 10 grand.
Yeah.
Now, would it be Brad's house? No.
Yeah.
No, but if you wanted to do a cabin in the woods or something like that and didn't have a huge electric, you could still run an air conditioner and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's going to cost you 10 grand to run a power pole there, let alone what your monthly bill is for the electricity.
Yeah.
I bet that house there on the corner of Corbin is probably 100%. Those solar panels, they have it in their yard. Have you noticed that?
Corbin. Oh.
Right, it's the next to last house. It's got that property there.
Yeah.
It's got a pretty big array. For a house, it's a big array.
And you know what's interesting? Those people, I think they're the people that own Bonded. The electric company, they do all the lightning poles for big residential houses and commercial buildings.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I think they know a little bit about electricity as well. But you're right; they have a huge array of solar panels.
Oh yeah, I know
right there on the corner.
Yeah. I know. I know what you're talking about.
Right by the airport.
Yeah.
And you're right.
And that's old stuff. That's the old stuff.
Oh yeah. So I listened to a podcast with Elon Musk and
Elon Musk.
It's been over a year ago, but he was talking about just doing the math of the area of solar panels and how efficient they are, that basically you could never have a solar powered car because the area is not big enough. And Rogan asked him, I can't remember all the specifics, but are solar panels going to get efficient enough? And he said it's just mathematically impossible.
The panels, it's math, but it's not mathematically impossible for the batteries to get efficient enough.
Right.
So in that application, it's the battery app that has to advance to that level. But that's what I'm talking. So you have the solar panels that are tremendously more efficient on output and cost.
Right.
What I can get for a $100 solar panel right now, as far as wattage, would have probably cost me $800 or $900 just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But then the efficiency of the batteries also take that to the next level. And so the lithium ion phosphates that are big now, the lithium ion batteries just a couple years ago were the thing. Lithium ion phosphate goes to that next level in efficiency, but also lower cost. So that's what I'm saying. It's all coming together, but it hasn't translated to the best of my knowledge to the e-bike batteries yet, but I'm not dialed into what the technology of that is.
Speaking of which, and circling back to Facebook Marketplace and tying into batteries and everything, have you guys noticed all of the Teslas that are being dumped onto Facebook Marketplace that are just shy of 10 years?
No.
Yeah, they seem, and the prices seem
Super cheap. And you know why?
suspectfully low.
Well, you have to
You know
replace
why?
the battery.
Yeah, because the battery warranty runs out at 10 years. And from what I understand, maybe the numbers change, but if one cell in those batteries go bad, you have to you can't go in and patch in a
No,
new
you have to
cell.
replace the whole
You have to
pack.
replace the whole thing. And from my understanding, the replacement cost is around 14 grand. So basically,
Wow.
you total the car almost. So
Okay. To be fair, and I know it's not a true apples to apples comparison. But 10 years is a little bit of a difference too. But say you start getting into that 15 to 20 year range. If you have to replace a transmission in an F-150 or a motor in an F-150,
it's not 14,000.
It's pretty damn close.
Maybe.
The motor in that F-150 that I got from Justin, that was several years ago, and that was a $12,000 motor. So, I mean, can you do it less expensively? Sure. Can everybody do it less expensively?
Yeah. I get what
Probably
you're
not.
saying.
I mean, I'm just saying, again, not apples to apples.
But a transmission and a motor can turn into yard art. A bank of batteries can't.
I don't know.
That's-
Turn it into a hawk and a deer or something.
That's the
like
thing.
that.
Where are all those batteries going?
Okay. No, I'm not. I'm not going down that path. I'm just saying.
I just think it's funny how
$14,000 investment in a 10-year-old car is not that far out of line from other 10 to 15-year-old cars.
And did you know that Tesla tires are Tesla specific?
I did not know that, but probably because of the weight, right?
It has to do. They put.
Weight and side load, I would think.
They have like some kind of foam built into them
Again, for the weight and side load, I bet.
for the quiet ride.
Oh.
But it's probably also
I guarantee it's side load.
Probably.
With that lower center of gravity, with all that weight, what do you think it's doing to those sidewalls when you go buzzing around a curve?
I wonder what kind of PSI they run in those tires. I don't know anything about
I
Teslas.
don't either.
But
You know less about Teslas than you do e-bikes, I bet.
that's true. That's true. I am damn impressed with Adam's Rivian, other than road trips. But that thing is
it's got cool. It's cool, and the SUV Rivian is really cool looking. That's a really nice looking.
They've got a new one coming out too, a smaller one. But that thing's like being in a spaceship.
I will throw a curveball into that, and it's not as luxurious and sexy, but that Kia electric SUV is pretty damn impressive. And I'm not. We're looking at a new car for Kay, and I sat in one at the dealership when we were looking, and it. It's pretty cool.
I don't know that one.
We got to button up.
What?
We got to button up. Yeah. He's got
Oh.
blood in his vomit now.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get you out of here.